The hidden details in the Joyville 2 trailer will blow your mind. This game is shaping up to be one of the best horror games in a long time, and somehow the creators have made this chapter even better than the first. And in today's video, we're gonna go over all of the secret details that could shape the future of the franchise. Not to mention the horrifying aspects that could absolutely change the way you look at the entire series in general. So if that sounds good to you, grab your popcorn and a drink and let's go ahead and take a dive in. The trailer begins with a very familiar room. If you'll notice, this is the exact room that was broken and beaten down inside of the trailer that came out 11 months ago. However, this time around, it's beautiful, graphically stunning, and now has a new pink tone. My first theory when it comes to the next chapter is that we're going to bounce and forth between the same location, however, in two different time periods. This is somewhat similar to how we kind of went in and out of different dimensions in FNAF Security Breach Ruin. Look at it as if it's the version of the room with or without the mask on. And if it's anything like other mascot horror games, we're going to have to complete puzzles in both locations. But more on that later, as I'm now focused on the 3 doors that are in the next scenes. You'll see the panic room, the joy room, and the mysterious cat-like door. Each one of these rooms, in my opinion, correlate to the next 3 antagonists. The panic room has to be the Stars room. As you remember, Could Play literally put out a teaser for the Star, where you see him dancing on a stage until he begins to panic, transforming him into an evil version of himself. Now, it really reminds me of Sun and Moon in FNAF Security Breach with 2 different personalities depending on what's affecting him. He could be very happy-go-lucky, however things can change in an instant, making him evil. This should be an interesting character definitely going forward in the chapter, and I'm excited to see what he has to offer. The next room is the Joy room, and Could Play let out a trailer for Tidey. This warlock-like character loves underwater, and the next scene in the trailer provides more detail on just that. If you look closely at this staircase and the background, you'll notice something very particular. For one, the entirety of this scene reminds me of an underwater lair. If you look out the window, it literally looks like the motion of the ocean. Not to mention, the wallpaper is ocean themed as well. And I don't know if the creator did this intentionally, but these stair railings almost look like reefs. Now, one thing that I want to point out that the creators of Joyville tend to do is give characters themed rooms, and that includes their doors. As the trailer progresses onwards, you'll notice this door looks exactly like Tidey's face. His teeth are exactly the same as his reveal, and his red, beady eyes. One thing that I did want to point out is the fact that the lips in this door are purple, which could signify the evil version of Tidey. There's also a picture frame on the right-hand side of this still image. Now, 2 things come to mind when I look at this. One being the more dramatic version of it, and it's the trapped souls that have come to Joyville and never escaped. And the second could be a still image of the past. Maybe characters that used to roam Joyville and now no longer exist. It really reminds me of the mysteries of the deep underwater ocean. Things that we've never seen before, and when we do get a glimpse of them, it's just eyes. Now, of course, this is just how my mind works, and I could be overthinking it, so don't take what I say for exact. However, going on through this hallway, look to the left. People have called this cracked glass a portal into another world. However, I don't think it's that entirely. What I think is that Tidey lives in somewhat of a fish tank, and this is the entrance between that fish tank and escaping. I believe Tidey, frustrated in anger, broke this glass, and that's exactly what it's signifying in the trailer. How quickly he can lose his temper. Now let's move on to that mysterious pink door that we saw in the opening scenes. This door belongs to who I believe is going to be the most evil and main antagonist that has been teased throughout all of the other trailers. It's a pink cat by the name of Lumina, whose voice sounds very familiar, with beautiful pink fur and that classic Joyville evil eyes in the mouth. This character is shaping up to be one of the most horrifying characters I've seen just yet. I don't know how they could make her look more evil. As she thickly walks down these stairs, you'll see her turn around with a glare that just doesn't come without noticing. She claims this place is, I quote, paradise. However, I know that she has something more up her sleeve. Now, one thing that I do want to mention as she rambles on is the details that the developers have put into the game this time around in comparison to the first chapter. These graphics are stunning and the game doesn't feel clunky. It's so smooth in these gameplay trailers. It follows that same theme of a children's paradise as you walk around, see different images including ball pits and different fun looking characters. But one thing that I do want to point out is the multiple teddy bear-like objects that we carry throughout this trailer. The first one is familiar with the last trailer that came out 11 months ago, the one that was in that rocket ship. It's this purple-like character, which based off of the emblem on its chest makes me think that it is going to be the one that time travels us or changes the perspective of where we are in the game. The next one is a teddy bear, which has glasses and a battery emblem on his chest. Now, if you ask me, this is just a more improved version of the teddy bear that we had in chapter 1. He's not as beaten down as the first chapter. However, I think he's going to serve as the same purpose, opening up doors and letting us get to different locations in Joyville. Now, with each open door, the bear is going to lose its battery, but more on that later, as the characters are now reintroduced all in one in the next chapter. The first one is the Star, and he sports himself on this beautiful dance floor. It doesn't look evil at all, and continuing on, when we see Tidey, it is confirmed that that wallpaper belongs to his area of Joyville. Now, each of these characters are so friendly in this version of the trailer. They even call us a great adventurer. And the Star says mistakes are just supposed to be that way.
Mistake? Just make everyone think it was supposed to be that way.
Almost fooling you to believe that these are going to be protagonists instead of antagonists. However, this mistake that you make inside of the gameplay trailer turns for the worst. It looks like our character messes up on one of the puzzles, and when they do, the entire world around changes. However, I think this goes a little deeper than mentioned earlier, as again, we're holding that purple bunny-like teddy bear, and when the battery gets low enough, I think the world around us reflects that. Either way, Luvia changes her tone entirely. She says, "We seem to have forgotten even the cutest kitty can have claws and fangs."
Seem to have forgotten even the cutest kitty can have claws and fangs.
At this point, the trailer turns dark. The intensity rises as our character looks to be crawling under steel bars as fire fills the room in the next scene. And the trampoline we jump on next doesn't look as friendly as the original one at the beginning of the trailer. As a matter of fact, if you still this image on the screen, you'll notice underneath this trampoline are toys that look like leeches ready to suck you dry if you fall into them. And now the next scene is even creepier, as you see on the wall, which looks to be written in blood, says "Dance Puppet Dance," which makes me think, based off of Luvia's words in the trailer where she says, "You'll regret every step you took away from me," that these three have gone through a traumatic experience and are now taking it out on our character. Believe that the Star, for example, is that puppet that needs to dance for whoever put this on the wall. Tormented, these characters are just looking to get back at whoever put them in this predicament to begin with. The next scene is even creepier, as it looks like a sunflower character multiplied in extensive versions of himself with a hazmat suit on. I wonder if these were the employees of Joyville or the scientists that did this evil deed to the three characters here on screen. However, as we run through the trailer, somebody or something grabs us, and instead of the star, it is an evil monster that resembled what used to be. And he doesn't seem so friendly about mistakes anymore, as he literally says this.
Another mistake!
But he's not the only one who looks more evil than he did at the beginning. Tidey looks absolutely horrifying, as he now represents an evil-looking anglerfish, sharp teeth and all, instead of that little cute tadpole at the beginning, claiming that we are in so much trouble for something that we did in the chapter. And the fire continues on, as it looks like the entire building is crumbling to pieces. And that's when the trailer ends in the same way that it began. And our release date is finally revealed to be late 2024. And I have news for you, ladies and gentlemen, as it is now November. We're running out of time. It looks like the developers plan on releasing this chapter either at the end of this month or sometime in December, which makes me very excited for the future of Joyville and horror game franchises in general. So ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about this trailer here on the screen. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. And if you do want to see more Joyville or other horror games, this is the place to be. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, peace out!